The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. This African proverb encapsulates the heart of our discussion today. It speaks of the enduring impact of past injustices and the scars they leave behind, scars that profoundly shape the financial narratives of what I call undervalued communities. Undervalued communities is a term I've created to describe groups who have historically been overlooked and denied opportunities due to being seen as less valuable, leading to economic gaps. Generational trauma, passed down through the legacy of financial oppression, plays a significant role in molding financial attitudes and decisions. The memories of economic exploitation and discriminatory policies become deeply ingrained, influencing how individuals and communities interact with money. A recent study by the Federal Reserve found that the median wealth of white households is approximately 6.4 times that of Black households and 4.7 times that of Hispanic households. Given the latest data, the average monthly income for a white household is approximately $6,700 compared to $4,400 for a Black household and $5,200 for a Hispanic household. But today, we're going to reimagine wealth, not just in the sense of accumulating more, but in transforming what wealth really means. How can it become a tool not just for financial security, but for real empowerment and thriving for everyone? And what steps can we take to ensure that wealth is not just a privilege, but a right accessible to all? Let us remember that while the acts of systematic oppression may forget, the trees, the communities, and individuals impacted remember. So as we work to reimagine wealth, we must acknowledge and address those deep-rooted scars. Only then can we begin to heal and grow together toward a more thriving community. Consider the case of Freedmen's Bank, established in 1865 by the federal government to help newly freed African Americans navigate their financial futures. But instead of serving its purpose, it collapsed in 1874 due to fraud and mismanagement, profoundly betraying the trust of its 61,000 depositors. Imagine working hard and putting everything that you've earned into your bank, only to wake up one day to find it completely gone with no recourse for getting it back. This event left a lasting scar of financial trauma, contributing to a lingering weariness among many in the African American community towards banking systems, investments, and other financial opportunities. A recent study by the FDIC found that even today, nearly 40% of African American households are unbanked or underbanked, compared to just 12% of white households. Now, recent research in the field of epigenetics suggests that trauma can leave a mark on our DNA, and that the traumas experienced by previous generations can genetically influence future ones. Imagine the implications for financial decisions. When fear and mistrust are inherited, they shape financial attitudes from one generation to the next. Research in this field has found evidence that the children and grandchildren of Holocaust survivors carry the biological impact of their ancestors' trauma, making them more susceptible to stress and anxiety disorders. If this is true for psychological trauma, could it not also be true for financial trauma? I like to share this photo of my family spanning 4 generations, not just because it shows my early tendency to question the status quo. That's me in the lower left-hand corner, determined to do my own thing. Look at my brother's face. I share this photo because it reminds me of the strength and resilience of past generations and the hopeful work that we can do to build a brighter financial future for those who follow. Now, in Native American communities, a community that has historically been undervalued, the legacy of economic disenfranchisement, underfunding, and broken treaties has created a deep mistrust in financial systems. This trauma manifests as a hesitancy to invest or purchase homes, instead focusing on strict budgets and saving cash. For African Americans descended from those subjected to chattel slavery, the economic impact resonates across generations. The legacy of slavery, Jim Crow laws, and systematic discrimination has created a wealth gap and distrust in financial institutions, influencing a reluctance to engage with traditional banking or take financial risks. And immigrant communities often face financial traumas from experiences of economic instability, challenges of starting anew, or discrimination. These experiences create a fear of financial insecurity spanning generations, influencing decisions such as emphasizing saving, avoiding debt, or preferring tangible assets over investments. Now, conventional wisdom preaches maxims like pull yourself up by your bootstraps and keep your expenses low and your income high. While pragmatic in theory, this advice fails to account for the systematic barriers and inequities that make these steps very difficult, if not impossible, for many individuals. A colleague shared that it's as if most financial advisors are focused on helping the top 10% become part of the elite 1%, while totally ignoring the reality faced by the other 90%. And I think this statement perfectly describes the problem. The traditional wealth model simply isn't designed to address the unique challenges and needs of undervalued communities. So how do we move forward? How do we create a more equitable and inclusive approach to wealth building that empowers undervalued communities? It starts by reimagining the very concept of wealth itself. Imagine financial literacy programs that integrate generational trauma-informed strategies and wealth management services that are culturally competent. This approach can help individuals process and heal from generations of economic injustice. This is where the concept of generational trauma-informed psychology comes in. By understanding how historical injustices shape financial behaviors, we can develop strategies that are not only more effective, but also deeply empowering. I experienced this firsthand when I met with a potential client, a family from an undervalued group. As we appeared on the Zoom screen and after we exchanged our hellos, they excitedly noted, "You look like me." And it was in that moment that I understood the profound impact of representation. They felt seen, they felt understood, and immediately more at ease discussing their financial aspirations and challenges. And during our conversation, they expressed their desire to have their teenager participate in future planning discussions. They wanted to break the cycle of financial trauma and equip their next generation with the tools and knowledge to build generational wealth. So to achieve this, practical steps could include creating investment models that consider generational trauma, as I have done, training financial professionals to address the impacts of trauma sensitively, and incorporating therapy into financial planning. One fascinating concept comes from Dr. Philippe Debrow, who draws parallels between Maslow's hierarchy of needs and investment choices. This shows how an individual's stage in life impacts their investment choices, starting with low-risk investment for basic needs and progressing to growth and impact investing as financial security and personal goals develop. Adopting a trauma-aware approach allows us to untangle the complex web of generational financial trauma and work towards building a more equitable and resilient financial future for everyone. Reimagining wealth goes beyond mere numbers in a bank account. It's about healing from the past, cultivating a sense of agency, and creating a future in which every individual has the opportunity to thrive. By implementing generational trauma-informed psychology, we can develop strategies that are not only more effective, but also deeply empowering. It's also important to recognize the growing community of diverse financial advisors who provide guidance that is both financially sound and culturally informed. These advisors are at the forefront of this reimagined approach. When clients feel seen, understood, and validated in their unique money experiences, breakthroughs happen. And advisors like us are revolutionizing the field and making a profound difference in the communities we serve. However, more support and scaling are needed. More research is necessary to deepen our understanding of financial psychology and generational trauma. And a new generation of diverse financial professionals needs to be trained to serve communities with empathy and cultural competence. When wealth is reimagined through the lens of inclusion and empowerment, it creates stronger, more resilient communities and creates a ripple effect of positive change across generations. Change is possible when we prioritize healing and understanding, offering culturally tailored financial education, implementing generational trauma-informed investment strategies, and ensuring diverse representation within financial institutions to provide financial guidance to communities with empathy and cultural competence. I want to leave you with a quote from author and activist Audre Lorde. Revolution is not a one-time event. It is becoming always vigilant for the smallest opportunity to make a genuine change. So let this be our rallying cry as we reimagine wealth. Let us be always vigilant and always ready to seize the opportunities to make genuine, transformative change. Because when we reimagine wealth, we build a world where every individual has the chance to not just survive, but to truly thrive. Thank you.